Well, good evening, everybody. We want to welcome you. You know, today is the day that we normally get together in person. Um, but, I want to welcome everybody. Krista, I love your, I love who's
An early
approaching me
Christmas
there.
present to us.
I love that. I love to see, oh, Mr. Dixon. You know what? That's exactly how, if I had good Christmas gear, I'd be wearing it. But the best I have is the tree with my South Piedmont ornament on it. Kat, you look like you're about to put a hat on or something, no? Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
Well, I do want to welcome two of our newest board members. The first, a Board of Trustee member, Mr. Jerry Simpson. As you all may know, he is a Union County Commissioner and has been a commissioner for 10 years. So, he's local. He graduated from Parkwood High School and then went on to NC State, where he majored in animal science. That brought him to a place where he actually came back to Union County as a teacher for 1 year and then went on back to his alma mater of NC State to serve on the faculty as an extension specialist. And throughout his career, he has done a number of things for Ag Extension. Krista, I love your spirit, my friend. um, and has done much with volunteering, including with 4-H. He has, and I love this, he has been active as a gentleman farmer. What a wonderful, wonderful title to have, and very active in his community and church. And so we welcome him. On the foundation board, our newest member is Dr. Harry Workman. You all may know him from his current job, which again, best title ever, Chief Ambassador of Generosity. I mean, how can you go wrong with that, right? But he has had a long-standing career in advancement with Wingate University, as well as Charlotte School of Law and Presbyterian College. Harry has been very active in the community, very involved in his church and in bringing goodwill to everybody throughout Union and Anson counties. So we are excited to have Harry Workman as part of our foundation. And so today, as I mentioned before, during this time of the year, we come together to celebrate the festivities of the holiday season. We're normally doing this in person, so we have all the warmth and the goodwill of being with each other. But although we're not around a table today, we still want to embrace the holiday spirit with you all. So a wonderful team of staff and faculty have come together to share their talents in ways that will bring you hopefully some peace, contentment, and a bit of holiday spirit. The video was produced originally by Dr. Diane Page, who is our Dean of the School for the School of Arts and Sciences. She's also a very talented musician. And Terrence Neely, who is the director of South Piedmont Studio, is also the program director for our digital media program. He has worked his magic once again to actually pull this together in a way that hopefully you will see how it all flows together to really hopefully put you in the mood. So to begin our production, and at some point, we will be listening to some readings from Miss Victoria Eford and Mr. Robert Morrison, who are two of our very, very talented faculty members here at South Piedmont. And then we'll be following those readings by a song, an a cappella version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas from our own Billy Dick, who you have often heard singing the national anthem at our graduations. He is our longest serving faculty member at South Piedmont, so he now carries the mace at our graduation. And Robert Morrison has been one that has sung our national anthem since Billy has taken on the noble role of carrying the mace. But at the conclusion of the collection of holiday performances, we're going to have a time where we can actually talk a little bit about maybe some reflections from the past year. I know they've been dominated mainly by things that are very challenging, but I think within those challenging times, sometimes we also find those bright spots of happiness and hope. And maybe you can share some reflections of the 2021 coming year. After this period of reflections, we will then have a video with some of the highlights from our year at South Piedmont, which we will also be serenaded by Miss Misty McMillan, who is the Director of Marketing at South Piedmont. She's got a beautiful voice. So we hope that you can enjoy this holiday celebration. So Elizabeth, I think you can cue it up.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away, all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry. Very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas doesn't come from a store, he thought. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Wow. I just love his voice. And, you know, I think one of the things that was really important to us is to kind of come together. And we're usually together just to do business and just to do work, but hopefully this can bring us a little bit of our holiday spirit early in December. So now's a great time where we could perhaps think of some reflections, and we just open it up to anybody that would like to share. Perhaps a nice reflection from the past year and some hope for the future. So I can tell you one of the reflections I have, I mean, it is related to the pandemic, but in a different way. When the college decided, or really we had to make a decision back in March, we came together and we knew that it was going to be quite a challenge to do something at the college that can help us feel connected, to make us do the right thing, to keep us all safe. And what I saw from the college faculty and staff was what defines a family. And we talk about that a lot. We talk about what South Piedmont means in terms of the feelings that it gives us. And to watch everybody come together knowing that the work ahead of us in some ways was unprecedented. Nothing. Some people were jumping into things that they had never had experience, but you know, nobody was complaining. everybody was coming together to say, let's do this for our students, and let's get it done. And it was a remarkable transformation that happened in a number of days. So as a reflection, it became a wonderful example of how a group of people come together with good in their heart to do good things for somebody else. So that is my reflection.
I will share, and I'm going to share this on behalf of my family as well, that looking back this year, one of the highlights of the year was the rededication of the Tyson Center at SPCC, and what a beautiful honor to my father. And one of the things that I look back on this year with so much sorrow is that, and what a celebration that was, and how beautiful the building is, and that, you know, our students can enjoy that for so many years to come.
That's right. Thank you. That was wonderful and a beautiful day for a beautiful man.
I got a little bit, kind of dovetailing on some of the stuff you said. You know, we faced 2020 starting off with the challenges of the new construction at the OCH. And then we had, and as that was going on, it was very challenging. And then we had the Tyson Center move in, and how wonderful that building turned out to be. And then, as you said, Maria, the COVID response from the college to get up and running online, and was probably one of the leading community colleges in the state in getting that done. And that all boils down to everybody here on this particular video. We all have a common goal, and our common goal is the betterment of South Piedmont Community College and its students' experience. And for that, I'm grateful to have witnessed all that this year. And hopefully we've got some great things coming for 2021. And so we should look forward to having an exciting 2021 year. And that's my reflection. Thank you.
Thank you.
When I think about that time,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michelle.
when I think about that time going back to the March, April timeframe, and I was talking about that, I remember our college coming together for the betterment of the students. And like Dr. Farr said, you know, we changed our classes to an online format just in a matter of days. But then the support services that we provided too, from food pantries and loaner laptops for students, and the ability to pay online, you know, the ability to have virtual tutoring. And I just saw us come together. It did not matter what division we were in or really what our job was. It was, how can we make the students experience? And I think that we're still doing that. I mean, Carl and I talked yesterday about opening up a little bit to let students pay. And I mean, that's what our senior leadership team is about. It's about working together to make that student experience better every day.
And I want to follow up on that. I came in and joined the college in that time frame, and you know, this is a bit personal. I left California, where I was running a school out there, where I had colleagues and coworkers that I both respected and loved, and we had such a close relationship. And I was for 7 years, and leaving them and that school was one of the hardest things I had to do in order to return home to be with my family. And I was feared I would never find another environment like that where I could really be myself and really feel connected to people that I worked with that felt more than just work people. And I just can't tell you how blessed I feel to be here among all of you, because from the board members on both the foundation and the college board to my SLT colleagues, and if I can say most importantly to my staff, I have found the love and the friendship and the intellectual challenges that I never thought I would really find again. So I want to just thank you all for the blessing that you've given me by being yourself and welcoming into the family.
That's nice.
I'll share now that we're all Bonnie's sweet comments. 2020, looking back, will always be very special to me. Amongst the mayhem that has been, there's been a lot of good that has risen to the top during all of that, and I have been very grateful to have been able to witness it firsthand. By moving back to Anson County, and now being able to serve this community through SPCC has been so incredibly special to me, for a place that I love so dearly. And I have been absolutely blown away by the generosity and the passion and the love that SPCC faculty and staff and community members have shown, and how they have just rallied behind these students at this college. And it is definitely something that I will never forget.
Thank you.
I would like to say that I think for me, the biggest takeaway for this year is through all of the, the COVID related issues and the other changes, the thing that comes through for me is the idea of resilience. And that's true about our faculty, our staff, and about our students. As we've been talking about the work the college did to come together to meet the challenges that COVID presented, I think that our students did as well. And all of that kind of came together in the spring when we got the results of our spring success information about student success. There was not a bit of difference overall between the success of our students in our spring semester of 2020 and our spring semester of 2019. So the work that the faculty and staff and everybody at the college did to provide the right kind of opportunity in the middle of all that chaos for students was a great stage for them to also show their resilience, and they worked through it very well also. And so I think that for next year, what that tells me is that we have a lot to look forward to, because I think despite having this horrible situation happen not only to the college, but just in terms of how it's affecting everybody in the world, I think we're going to come out in many ways stronger as a result of it, more confident in our programs, especially our online programs. And so I think that's what to look forward to for me for next year. I will also say that this is a good year to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. And so, I don't have a Christmas tree, but I do have an ugly Steelers Christmas sweater that I thought I would share with all of you. So,
and I was going to say that my hope for next year is I don't see that sweater at the next celebration. Just joking. You know what? Appreciate your spirit there, sir. Appreciate your spirit. You were willing to go all out for it.
To kind of piggyback on what Carl was saying, when we did our board retreat, we got to see some of the students, and there weren't a lot of students on campus because of COVID, but the ones we saw, just seeing how adaptable they all are, and they were following protocols, and they were there to learn, and they're passionate. It meant a lot to get to see that.
Yeah, one of the many things that the college did that I was impressed with was providing Wi-Fi connections in the parking lots. I just thought that was really clever, and certainly helped a lot of students stay connected or get connected that couldn't otherwise do that. It's kind of like a 2020 version of a drive-in movie, I guess. But anyway, I was impressed with that. Good stuff.
Whoops. I'm sitting there talking with my mute on. Oh, God. There you go. Then that's a 2020 reflection, right? How many times have we said that? Anybody else? Yes,
I'll
Derek?
just say something, Maria. Once the year started, I remember Pat Kale having a conversation with me early in the year about a scholarship, the first Alex Kale scholarship for one of our employees. And, you know, we were just doing everything we could to figure out how are we going to manufacture all of the things that we needed for, you know, 2020. It was going to be our biggest year ever. And overnight, it seemed, everything changed. And some of the employees, not that one, ended up losing their jobs. And I had to make that tough phone call to some of those employees. And over the next couple of months within the community, I saw a few of them. And I was expecting, you know, to get, you know, the evil eye or something like that. It was the exact opposite. They were all so happy and felt blessed that they not only had an opportunity to work where they worked, they landed with solid footing. And in most cases, never even missed a check. Even things from their severance to the new jobs and going back to school to learn new things just really inspired me and gave me a renewed approach to thinking, you know, the resilience as Carl mentioned. And it wasn't more than a month after that Bonnie invited me over for a 1-hour meeting. I think we could have talked for 4 or 5 because we had so many, I guess, close calls as far as our travels in life. And it just really inspired me for 2021 to know that not only are we resilient, there's a lot of things that are in place. And maybe 2020 gave us the things that we need to do bigger and better things in 2021. So that's what I'll say. That's my reflection, and I'm inspired.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's so good. That Eric Dixon, he's so good. Did I mention he's on my board? I love this man. I just like to just piggyback on top of that. You know, I think back in February, remember that we got that ball in right before COVID. But I think to your point, Eric, and I can understand, knowing the kind of leader you are, that I know what those phone calls were like when you had to make them, and I know it's difficult for you. But I think too that is a signal. I think you're right. If there's anything that came from 2020 that I look back on and I think that was good stuff, is it did, I think, sharpen our skills, things that maybe we either hesitated to do or we did, but we didn't really embrace it, technology. We've had to embrace, and I think because of that, we are stronger, right? We have learned new skills that we are able to build on, I think, for 2021, though I think we all look forward to the days when we can come together and gather again. I think the other thing is I love listening to you all, especially those of you who are on faculty and staff, because you do have this sense of family, and you see that when you visit the campus or when you're in a meeting with you all. But the other part of that is it just reinforces the why our college is so important to our communities, whether that's Anson or Union County as one community. It is the fact that our students do need us to help them with their skills when they're having to make a change or a shift, or get to make a change or a shift in their careers, because they now, like the gentleman that did receive the first Alex Kale scholarship, just meeting him and hearing him talk about his family and his love for Eric Dixon. He was waiting on Eric to arrive, but he was just this charming, wonderful man who wants more for his family. And our college is able to do that for him. Or the small businesses I was talking about earlier at the executive committee, the small businesses, our small business center has done so much for during this time, allowing them to learn some new skills or get some help. And so I just think, I think it just reinforces the why. Why is this college so important to our community? And it's because of what Maria says so often. It's that our doors are open to all, for whatever that need is, from the reskilling, upskilling, getting a degree to help with their small business. All of that is available at our college. And I think if anything, I think back on this year has taught me anything, it's that resiliency is such a gift. And this community, Anson and Union, just embraces our, right, our people. We just embrace that. And I think that's a gift that being in our community, as we talked about earlier, bring those people from MEC that we want, not all of them. We don't want all of them, but bring them, come into the light, into Anson and Union, and right? It's just a good sense of community. So anyway, the why. I think the why our college exists, for me, is the best reflection.
Thank you. Well, I'm really grateful that you all joined us today. And I know Krista had to leave. She sent a chat to everyone. But I hope that you can enjoy the next segment, which is a montage of some of the things that have happened. Oh my God, Caroline. That just makes I love it. Oh, let them come in. Let them come in. A montage of some of the things that have happened over the past year with an accompaniment by Miss Misty McMillan. So Elizabeth will cue it up. And at the conclusion of that, we want to wish you now a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, best wishes and goodwill to you all. So at the conclusion, you can log off and hopefully carry the spirit with you.
Thank you.
I'm dreaming tonight of a place I love even more than I usually do. And although I know it's a long road back, I promise you I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good party.
Yeah, I am still here too.